Let's bring in our guest who is watching along with us. National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar is here. Michael, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to list a couple of things that we're hearing about inside of the courtroom because it's Mark Agnifilo who is delivering these remarks. And he's telling this jury that this was the prosecution's attempt to criminalize kinky sexual preferences and drug use, that the bedroom, the intimate part of this defendant's life is what is being criminalized here, that it's not racketeering. He says witnesses have been taking the stand and none of them have said, yes, I am part of a racketeering enterprise. He talks about this being a lifestyle, swingers, threesomes, but essentially it's being described as him mocking the government for an exaggerated trial. How do you think that is likely going over with these jurors?
I mean, that's a defense they have to take, but I'm baffled as to why they didn't bring any witnesses or at least Sean Combs to the stand to say that, right? Because here's the thing. I said in the middle of this trial that whenever you are going to try a case, if you perceive there to be a weakness in your case, you lean hard into the strength of your case. So I say that for the government, because the government knew before the trial started that they knew that the weakness in their case was the word coercion, right? How are they going to get the jury to believe that Sean Combs coerced these people, committed had a criminal sexual enterprise and racketeered his way to the top, right? How are they going to do that? They leaned hard into the strong side of their case, which is the grossness and the sheer depravity of his conduct. They put on witness after witness, weeks of witnesses who just showed you that Sean Combs had a depraved lifestyle. They did that because they were hoping it would distract the jury when they went to the jury deliberation room on the word coercion. They wanted them to get to the word coercion by looking at the sheer grossness of his conduct and say no rational person would ever believe they were stepping into that situation. When they stepped into a situation, a relationship with Sean Combs, they never thought that he would use money as a hook for them to be part of this, and then he controlled them. So I think it's going good, Julia. It just baffles me that these very competent, capable attorneys didn't put on any witnesses. I mean, Sean Combs is a trained actor. He's acted in plays. He knows how to cry on cue, how to emote on cue. He knows how to do things that I can't do, most people can't do. So he would have been a perfect witness to carry that flag before the closing argument, because that would have been the last thing the jury heard before they heard closing arguments. We would have seen Sean Combs on the stand cry, beg, plead. I love these people. I would have never done that, because the way they're explaining it, it's rational in a vacuum, but the jury are not going to deliberate in a vacuum. They just saw weeks of really disgusting, grotesque evidence put on by the federal government. So we'll see what happens.